Today we're going to answer one of the most popular questions we get asked as a real estate property management company, and that is, hey Bill, I own a property in Woodbridge. How do I maximize my rental income? So today we're going to try to answer that question. The answers we're about to provide is not specific to Woodbridge or Northern Virginia. It's an answer that could be applied to most of the Virginia area, like Tidewater, Richmond, and all the surrounding counties in the Commonwealth. So there's really 4 key areas that would tremendously help landlords achieve maximum rent income. Notice I said rent income, not rent value. And that starts with number 1, determining your rent value. So 24 to probably the last 12 months, the market has been very favorable towards landlords. You can probably ask whatever you wanted for your property and you could probably achieve that. Now in the last quarter of 2024 and for kind of the next 6 months, things have really changed. The market's not really as hot anymore. There's much more supply than there are demand, and landlords are now having to make concessions or dropping their rent price significantly. And so one of the things we tell owners now, and that hasn't really been the case, although just because COVID has really hidden a lot of these things, and that is the rental value is independent of what your expenses are. So the concept for a lot of owners is, hey, my mortgage, let's say, is $2,400. Therefore, I need to get $2,400 or more. On COVID, there's a very good chance you could have gotten $2,400 for rental property. In current time, that might not be the case. And again, the market doesn't necessarily care about your expenses. It's just, hey, is there someone out there that qualifies, that will be willing to pay the asking price that you have for your property? Sometimes you may get lucky, you will find an individual quickly, and sometimes you may not find an individual at all at the asking price that you want for the property. So it's just a very dynamic market right now, and we strongly encourage owners to be honest with themselves. Just make sure that your rent price is accurate and is up to market value. You don't want to overprice it and leave your property vacant. The easiest way to kind of know your rental pricing, at least if it's just an estimate, is by going to our website at KRSHoldings.com. Right on our homepage, there's a little form that you just type in the address and it'll give you a rough estimate based on the competition in the area of what your rent price could be. Now, granted, it can't take into account amenities, which is one of the things I'm going to talk later in this video, but it's going to give you a rough number of what your rent price is going to be. I strongly encourage you guys to take advantage of that, at least get a number started. And if you would like an exact quote, be sure to reach out to our team. We'll be happy to help you get a more accurate rent price for your property. The second topic that relates to the first topic is vacancy. To maximize your income, you need to make sure that your vacancy is reduced as much as possible. The way we think about it is, let's say if your all-in expenses is $2,000 a month, and let's say it's sat vacant for 3 months, that's a $6,000 expense that you just took to your bottom line. Or better yet, you're losing $500 a week. And so we want to make sure that we avoid that as much as possible. That is by pricing it appropriately, making sure that your ads are attractive, that you're doing everything you can to ensure that your property does not sit vacant for longer than it needs to be. The other thing too is talking about income, but it's about your bottom line. Having a property sit vacant attracts a lot of issues. I own a property, and there was a brief period of time between my tenant getting evicted due to some issues and me being able to find the next tenant and renovating the property. And just in that few days that I had the property sitting vacant, someone went in and almost took my HVAC system outside. And if it wasn't for the fact that I was there, I would have lost easily $3,000 in HVAC, outdoor unit. So that's kind of some of the challenges that comes with property that sits vacant beyond just the expenses of having an empty property. It's something that a lot of people don't think about, and it's something that we try to harp on. Hey, make sure that you get somebody in there as quick as you can. The third topic is strategic renovation. A lot of homeowners come to me and say, hey Bill, I just put on a new roof. Can I get $100, $200 more a month in rent for that? And unfortunately, the answer is no. Roof can add tremendous value to your home, but it really doesn't dramatically increase your rental value. Renters typically expect that their rented property is not going to have any leaking issues, that the toilets are working. That being said, Renovations like a brand new kitchen, a brand new bathroom, upgrading any vanities, new carpet, or new flooring, those things would add tremendous value to your property if you don't already have those things. New appliances. We are particularly fond of black appliances versus stainless steel. Stainless steel shows scratches very easily, whereas black appliances kind of hide certain issues or blemishes far easier. The last thing that we want to talk about is amenities. Amenities encompasses a lot of different things. The one that typically a lot of investors think of is furnished housing or furnitures. Typically what we see is having furniture inside your unit doesn't bring the value that a lot of investors think it does. If you're able to have a system worked out where you're consistently getting Airbnb tenants in there and it's legal, great. Or the other way that a lot of investors do it is they work with corporate housing and get an exponentially higher rent price by providing furnished housing for short-term tenants. We find that those two avenues are somewhat unreliable compared to a long-term tenant that will stay month after month, year after year. And it's something that we typically try to steer investors towards, just because if you measure the long-term benefits towards your rental income is not a scalable business model in our professional opinion to do short-term. There are companies out there that do it well, and certainly we encourage everyone to research it. It's just not something that we see that works well, at least in Virginia. And the last thing that we want to touch on, kind of the same topic as amenities, is adding amenities that would add value to you. So washer and dryer is one of those things that would add tremendous value to your rental price. So the way that we think about it is here in Richmond, where washing, drying, and detergent is about $10 per load. If someone, an individual washes their clothes 10 times a month, which is very likely, that's $100 of value that you just offset for that tenant if you were able to provide them a washer and dryer in unit. And that obviously scales with more people inside the house. If you imagine, let's say a family of 4 in this example, that's a couple $100 of washing and drying loads that you just helped them offset by having a washer and dryer in your unit. Now that being said, at a certain rent price, let's say $2,000 here in Richmond, tenants will expect a washer and dryer to be in the unit. And so comes a point where the washer and dryer is not, it's just be expected as an amenity, whereas, at a slightly lower rent price, it could be as an added amenity. So areas like that would tremendously add value to your bottom line in terms of rent price and would help you maximize your income. If you have any questions or any concerns, go to our website at KRSHoldings.com. Again, our free rental analysis is available for you if you're in Virginia area or North Carolina. And of course, if you need a more accurate quote, please feel free to reach out to our team. We'll be more than happy to help you out.